Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Moonlight Musical's presentation of A Moonlight Reading, The Polar Express by Chris Van Allsburg.
We're so grateful that you've chosen to spend your evening with us as we celebrate the holidays and our loved ones.
Creating these Moonlight readings for you has been such a blessing. It means so much to us to be able to give back at a time when so many are struggling.
And so, in the spirit of Christmas, we have one more special surprise.
Moonlight Musicals is proud to present its 2021 summer season entitled Finding Family. All of the shows in this season demonstrate the importance of family through stories of love and courage.
Which is why we want to assure your family that safety is our #1 priority. Every step of the production process will adhere to state and city guidelines. So, what are these shows?
Coming in June of 2021, The Sound of Music, a Rodgers and Hammerstein's classic.
Then in July, our children's production of Honk Jr., a hilarious and beautiful retelling of The Ugly Duckling.
Coming in August, In the Heights, an award-winning musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Be sure to keep an eye on our website and all of our social media for dates on when to audition and how to apply for a production role.
And now, without further ado, Moonlight Musicals presents The Polar Express, a Moonlight Reading.
Hello there, neighbor. It's so nice to see you again. I'm glad you could join me today. The weather outside is getting colder, but it always makes me feel so wonderful to be in a nice, cozy, warm home. I have something special I'd like to share with you. It's a book you may have read this time of year before. The book is The Polar Express. It was written by Chris Van Allsburg. It's about Christmas and believing even when everyone around you tells you you're just being silly. It's a very special book to me, and we'll be reading it in just a minute. But first, I think I hear some Christmas carolers out on the lawn. Shall we listen to them?
I'm wishing on a star and trying to believe that even though it's far, he'll find me Christmas Eve. I guess that Santa's busy, 'cause he's never come around. I think of him when Christmas comes to town. The best time of the year, when everyone comes home with all this Christmas cheer, it's hard to be alone. Putting up the Christmas tree with friends who come around. It's so much fun when Christmas comes to town. Presents for the children, wrapped in red and green. All the things I've heard about, but never really seen. No one will be sleeping on the night of Christmas Eve, hoping Santa's on his way. the things I've heard about but never really seen. No one will be sleeping on the night of Christmas Eve, hoping Santa's on his way. When Santa's sleigh bells ring, I listen all around. The herald angels sing, I never hear a sound. And all the dreams of children once lost will all be found. That's all I want when Christmas comes to town. That's all I want when Christmas comes to town.
That was really special. Do you like to sing? I do. Sometimes I get nervous when I sing in front of people. It's okay to be nervous. When you sing with other people, like in a choir, you don't get so nervous. And that's one of the ways I enjoy it. You know, I'd like to introduce you to another friend of mine, Megan Bratton, who's the Chief Development Officer at the South Plains Food Bank. Megan's going to tell us a little bit about how we can work with the South Plains Food Bank to help them feed people who maybe are hungry this Christmas season. Megan, tell us about the food bank.
The food bank is a very special place to me. I've been with the food bank for a little over 10 years, I guess, total. And every year there's something that happens that just makes it so much more magical to help the people that we are able to help. And it comes just from the community stepping up to help us. We serve a 20-county area across the South Plains, and we are serving about nearly 100,000 people right now. Due to COVID, we've seen a big increase in the need, but we've also seen a huge increase in the community helping us to make sure people are not going to go to bed hungry.
So Megan, how can people get involved? How can they support the South Plains Food Bank?
They can definitely go to our website and volunteer. That is one of the biggest ways that we are needing help right now, is to have some people come in and help us with building our boxes, sorting food, and making sure we're going to get out all of the food that we need to this Christmas during our distributions. You can, of course, always give money, but giving your time is really, really special to us right now.
That is wonderful. And is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the South Plains Food Bank?
Well, if anybody finds themselves in need, they can also go to our website, click on the Get Help button up at the top and fill out a short application. And they can also, of course, call the food bank, and we will be able to get them in touch with somebody that can help get them the food that they need to get by.
And you can do that all online, because in times of COVID, we're trying to minimize our one-on-one contact, but we still want to have a connection with the families that we serve, right?
Absolutely, yes. Hearing the stories from our families that we are helping, but also from the families that are helping them, just makes it such a magical season, because we're all giving in a way, but we're making sure that it's making the biggest impact possible.
Thank you, Megan, for being here and for all the good work you do at the South Plains Food Bank. Do you hear some more carolers? Let's give them a listen too.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
He's making a list, he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake.
So you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. So you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
He's making a list, he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.
Oh, you better watch out.
You better not cry,
Better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow, the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
There's a word that we hear a lot of at Christmas time. It's believe. To believe is to know that something is true or someone is true. Do you believe in something? Do you believe in someone? Let's see what our friends in the land of make-believe are doing this Christmas.
Hello, Banker Anchor. How are you today?
Oh, I'm sad. I was talking to some of my friends about Christmas and, well, how excited I am for Santa to visit. And they started making fun of me. They said only little babies believe in Santa.
Oh, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel sad, and then silly, and then angry. Oh, I just wanted to cry.
Oh, well, what do you have here?
Oh, well, this is my favorite book. Would you be able to read some of it for me?
I would love to. On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound a friend had told me I'd never hear, the ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend had insisted, but I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear sounds, though not of ringing bells. From outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest, then looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe. "All aboard," the conductor cried out. I ran up to him. "Well," he said, "are you coming?" "Where?" I asked. "Why, to the North Pole, of course," was his answer. "This is the Polar Express." I took his outstretched hand and he pulled me aboard. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candies with nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is a new bird who sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man, but you can do the job when you're in town." Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown. He'll say, "Are you married?" We'll say, "No, man, but you can do the job when you're in town." Later on maybe we'll conspire as we dream, a-sitting by the fire, to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter, walking in a winter, walking in a winter wonderland.
Oh, hi, Banker Anchor. It's a great afternoon. How are you? Or maybe not such a great afternoon after all. What's wrong?
I'm sorry, I'm just not my cheerful self today. Say, do you think you could read this book for me?
Oh, this book? Oh, this is my favorite, of course. Where let's see, where are we? Oh, and it's my favorite part. "There," said the conductor, is the North Pole. The North Pole. It was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. They're gathering at the center of the city, the conductor told us. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas. Who receives the first gift? We all asked. The conductor answered, he will choose one of you. We pressed through the crowd to the edge of a large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and paced, ringing the sleigh silver bells that hung from their harnesses. It was a magical sound, like nothing I'd ever heard. Well, I hope that helps, but I've got to go run and get a gift for Mrs. Doss.
Oh.
Bye, Miss Banker Anchor. Bye.
Bye. Oh, hello, Steve.
Hello, Banker Anchor. I just heard from Mimi that you're feeling down today.
Yeah, well, people have been real nice and reading me part of this book.
Would it help if I read some?
Really? Thank you.
Sure. Let's see. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and, pointing to me, said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee, and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?" I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood up, holding the bell high above him, and called out, "The first gift of Christmas." A clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us, then disappeared in the cold, dark polar sea.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10,
Glistening once again.
with candy canes and silver lanes aglow.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on our own front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben.
Dolls that will talk and we'll go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen.
And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
Now there's a tree in the Grand Hotel,
One in the park as well.
the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start.
And the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots,
It's the wish of Barney and Ben.
dolls that will talk and will go for a walk,
Is the hope of Janice and Jen.
and their mom and dad can hardly wait for school
beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Soon the bells will start, and the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart.
Why, hello, Banker Anchor. You certainly seem to have the Christmas spirit. What's got you feeling so good?
Well, I was actually feeling really sad, but some of my friends came and they read me some of this book. It's called The Polar Express.
Well, say, would I be able to read some of that? I've been feeling really glum today, and I think that might really help.
Well, of course. Okay. There's just a little bit left.
As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa's sleigh. Well, let's hurry outside and look for it, one of the children said, but the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. And I stood in my doorway and I waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I shouted. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas," he yelled. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle, and it sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was a silver bell.
Silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, ring-a-ling. Hear them ring, ting-a-ling. Soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas.
Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile.
And on every street corner you'll hear silver bells,
Silver bells,
silver bells,
silver bells.
It's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling,
Ring-a-ling,
hear them ring.
hear them ring.
Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Strings of streetlights, even stoplights, blink a bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. Hear the snow crunch, see the kids bunch. This is Santa's big scene, and above all this bustle you'll hear silver bells.
The corner Santa Claus
Silver bells
is busy now because it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling,
It fills the winter air.
hear them ring.
You'll hear them everywhere.
Soon it will be Christmas Day. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air,
It's
there's
Christmas
a
time
feeling
in the
of
city.
Christmas. Children laughing,
people passing, trading smile after smile. Very soon it will be Christmas Day.
And there was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C. I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. That's too bad, my mother said. Yes, my father said, it's broken. When I'd shaken the bell, my parents hadn't heard a sound. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for them as well. Even Sarah found one Christmas she could no longer hear its sweet sound. And though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, just as it does for all who truly believe. The end.
You know, I have another special friend that I'd like to introduce you to right now. She's going to tell us about the arts in our community. This is my friend Stacy Keith.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm the director of the Lubbock Cultural Arts Foundation and am lucky enough to get to work with a lot of great arts groups and museums and libraries here in Lubbock. And there's so many ways that people can be involved with the arts, particularly moving forward into 2021. Lots of arts organizations need docents and volunteers. Our new wonderful big Buddy Holly Hall of Performing Arts and Sciences is going to need lots of volunteer help. And so there's wonderful ways to be involved, and there's lots of things to do and see. I hope that 2021 will be easier on our arts. We've had a hard year this year, as you know, with COVID. But we know that there'll be a brighter year ahead, and so there's always lots to do in our community.
Thank you. And how can people get involved right now? Are there things that we could be doing?
There are several arts organizations that are collecting toys for tots right now, which is a great program. I believe Silent Wings Museum is doing that, and the Buddy Holly Center is doing that too. And then you can always look at either the visitlubbock.org website, which is a great resource for kind of a listing of everyone. And then in January, our website will be up, which will be lubbockculturalarts.org, and we'll have links to everyone there too. But it's a great time to be involved.
Well, thank you for being here, Stacy. It was wonderful to hear what you're doing. But you know, we're almost out of time, but I think I hear another couple of carolers coming up. Would you like to listen to them as we leave? Thank you for being with us today. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and Blitzen and all his reindeer are pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing and children singing and all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that is filled with toys for the boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jangle, what a beautiful sight. Jump in bed, cover up your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight, tonight. Santa Claus comes tonight. Happy day,
happy time.
Listen to the bells and chimes. Santa Claus comes your way today.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He doesn't care if you're rich or poor, he loves you just the same. Santa Claus knows we're all God's children, that makes everything right.
So fill your hearts with Christmas cheer.
'Cause Santa Claus comes tonight, tonight. 'Cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Stand by. follow the light.
Let's give thanks to the Lord above, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Happy day,
Happy time.
listen to the bells and chimes. Here comes Santa Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus.